Hey guys, so I wanted to share something with you guys. I'm in the car, obviously. Not ready to get out of the car yet. I just ran some errands, went and bought me some flowers, just because, and yeah. But I wanted to share this before I went inside because it honestly feels so good out here, and sometimes when I just pull up, I just sit here for a minute. But on March 4th, the Lord had one of my sisters in Christ reach out to me, and she had a dream with me in it. And I won't get into the dream or anything like that, but after the dream was over, he spoke to her and he gave her the word requital. And requital is recompense for something that was done. Recompense, compensation, payback. It could also be retaliation. So the word requital can go one or two ways. It's basically reaping what you've sown. But in the way that God gave it to me, or gave it to her for me, he was speaking of recompense for the things that I've sown, good things that I've sown, and how he was getting ready to reward me in just like certain areas of my life for the seeds that I've sown. And it just, the word went with the dream. Like, God just gave her so much revelation. So requital, recompense or compensation or payback for something that was done. And like I said, on the flip side, it can be retaliation. So it could also be God's judgment. Galatians 6:7, I believe it's 6:7, says, don't be deceived, for God is not mocked. For whatever a man reaps, that is what they will sow, right? Basically, you reap what you sow. Did I just say that backwards? Whatever a man sows, they will reap. I don't even know what I just said, but I think I just said it backwards. Y'all, I have so much going on in my mind right now. Like I told you guys, I'm running off an hour of sleep, probably less. But don't be deceived. God is not mocked. Whatever a person sows, that is what they will reap. You reap what you sow. And I was thankful for her reaching out to me and giving me, that word requital and what God had spoken to her. And it was just, some really intimate things about my personal life and what he was doing in this season. And later on that day, it had to be a couple of hours after she reached out to me, maybe 3 hours. I had someone reach out to me that stopped talking to me 4 years ago. Like literally it was 4 years ago to the month, I believe. That they stopped talking to me, and they never told me why they stopped talking to me. They just like poof, be gone, right? And I'm not a person who will ask someone, I'm like, what is that? I'm not a person who will ask, are you okay? Did I do something wrong? Because I know my heart, I know me. And I know with anybody I meet or anybody that cross paths with me, my heart is always pure, right? Does not mean that I'm not capable of hurting a person unknowingly, but I feel like I pay attention to those that are close to me, close enough to know if I've done something wrong. Like I learn the ways of a person, if that makes sense. Like all of my close friends, I speak to them differently because they're different people. It's almost like, a parent has kids, and a parent will deal with their kids in a different way. Like none of the kids will get the same treatment because each child is different from the next child. They receive information differently. They retain that information differently. How they look at things, it's different. So a parent has to meet that child where they are. And I look at my relationships like that. So there are certain ways that I'll joke with one friend that I can't joke with the other because I know it may hurt them or whatever. So I just pay attention. If you're close to me, and I consider you a friend, I pay attention to your ways and what bothers you, what aggravates you, what hurts you, what makes you smile, what makes you joyous. Like I just look at those things. Even when it comes to like family members, like I know what family members I can joke with, those that I can't joke with, those that I can say certain things to or whatever, and they won't take offense to it. So you just learn the ways of people. You learn the ways of those people that you care about that are around you. So I remember it was maybe like March of 2021. It was in 2021 when this happened. It could have been March or April, to be honest. I don't remember. I just know it was 4 years ago. It was 2021. And I had reached out to this person, and this is a person that I used to talk to like every single day. Like we would minister to one another, uplift one another. She's very anointed. And it's like one day I remember texting her and she was like one answering me, right? And of course, when you've been hanging with someone or around a person for a certain amount of time, you learn their ways. So you know that when you text them a certain way, they're not a one word type of person, right? So I remember she just kept responding with one word. So I know how to read the room. So one thing about Christina, I'm not even going to say Nina, that's my nickname. One thing about Christina, I know how to read a room. You will not catch me calling you back to back and are you okay? Is everything? We're adults. So you have to, like, if there's something wrong, talk to me. I'm not going to chase you. I'm not going to do any of that. If you bring something to my attention and you're like, hey, this is what was said or this is what was done, you hurt me, and I analyze that situation and come to an understanding that, man, like I did hurt that person, even if I may not have understood it at the moment. If someone brings something to my attention and it hurts them, I'm pretty receptive of that. Now, it's different if you bring something to me and I know it's complete BS or something like that. Like, nah, I'm not a doormat, so I'm just not around here apologizing for any and everything. But if someone's like, hey, this is what you did, I'll analyze the situation and apologize if they felt hurt by it or if I hurt them. You know, you just never know. I can't say what I did that didn't hurt someone, right? I'm not feeling what they're feeling. So I'm a pretty apologetic person if I've done something wrong. Now, if I didn't, baby, me and God gonna have a conversation and he's gonna have to show me if there, what was the wrong in that situation. And I check with God when it comes to friendships and things like that. Like I sit with God. If there's something that I don't understand, I allow him to guide me. But anyways, she was like one wording me, and I read the room and I was like, okay, this is my last text message to this person. So I never text her again. She never texts me again. This was 4 years ago. So on this very same day, which was March 4th, that my sister in Christ was like, Requital, God is paying you back. Like, you're getting ready to reap every good thing that you've sown, you know, for the Lord in certain areas and so forth. This person reaches out to me and they apologize to me for just like cutting me off and dropping me or whatever. And the person asked me for forgiveness. And of course I forgave them, but I honestly wasn't holding anything against them, because when they dropped out of my life, I kind of was like, okay, what just happened? Because I knew I didn't do anything wrong. I was like, what just happened? And God spoke to me and said, he needed me to grow without this person. Like if this person would have stayed in my life, I would have kind of clung to them, because I was in a season of like, I was going through a divorce, or I had already divorced, but I was grieving from a divorce. I was just now stepping into my calling. I was just now starting my ministry. This particular person was one of the first people that subscribed to my channel when there was like 5 people, but like everything was new to me and I was still grieving, and she just came at the right time. And the Lord had spoke to me and said, if I leave this person in your life, you're not going to rely on me and learn to trust me the way I need you to with where I'm taking you if I let this person stay in your life. He told me not to worry about the reason why she stopped talking to me. Don't think about it. Just know that he was in it. So I just looked at it like, okay, well, God wants me to grow with him only, and I just can't grow with her at this time, right? And lo and behold, it's 4 years later, and she just reached out to me out of the blue and sent me this really nice apology on one of my social media pages. Well, I only have one. She sent me a message on Facebook and just apologized. But not only did she apologize, she asked for forgiveness. And I had never had anybody do that to me before. I don't even think I've apologized to someone before and asked for forgiveness. Normally, if I'm being honest, I will apologize to a person, but I never say, please forgive me, because I always looked at it as, if I'm apologizing, my apology is sincere. And whether you forgive me or not, that's between you and God. And that's how I look at apologies, and I still look at them like that. But I feel like the way that she apologized and behind that asked for forgiveness really humbled me and made me look at how I apologize to people. And it made me want to start like apologizing and also asking for forgiveness. Now, whether they choose to forgive me or not, that's still between them and God. It's not up to me to worry about that. My job is just to apologize and to be authentic as I'm doing it, to have a clean and pure heart, right? But it humbled me because I had never had anybody apologize and also ask for forgiveness. That takes a really big, mature person to do something like that. And it just showed this person's character and how over the course of the past 4 years, how this person has grown. Like, they're obviously not the same person. Not saying that she wouldn't have apologized and asked for forgiveness previously, but I didn't know that part of her. But just her coming back and apologizing, and I knew it was sincere. I was able to discern the sincerity of the message, but she apologized and she asked for forgiveness, and that kind of blew my mind. And like I said, it humbled me, but I was not expecting that with this requital that God was speaking about, as far as like compensation and, recompense for the things that you've sown. I wasn't aware that this came with apologies. Like, I wasn't looking at it like that. I was just like, oh, okay, this is about to be great. Like, God is going to bless me in all of these areas. And I was looking at it on a grand scale, which I'm still looking at it on a grand scale because I know my Father. I know I serve a big God. But this requital, that's not just for me, it's for many of you guys. It comes with people apologizing, people from the past apologizing to you, and maybe even asking for forgiveness. And just know that as people return and they're apologizing for how they treated you, it is your job to forgive. It is your job to forgive, because if you don't forgive them, God is not going to forgive you. But with this compensation, with this recompense, with what God is doing in so many of our lives, this is not just for me. There are apologies that are happening, and many of you guys may not even be thinking about the person that walked away or what happened because it was so long ago. I wasn't thinking about this person apologizing to me. I just remember, speaking to God about this particular person recently, and God had brought back a prophetic dream that he gave me about this person, and I was asking him, do you want me to reach out and give it to her? I'm like, I'll do it, even though it's kind of awkward because we don't talk like that. But I knew I didn't have any ill will towards this person, and I didn't think the person had any ill will towards me, so I was gonna do it. And I remember this was like 2 months ago, and God spoke to me and he said, give her the dream when she reaches out to you, when she contacts you. And still, I'm like, we haven't talked in so long, I'm not thinking anything of it. It's like you hear God and if he's saying it, it's gonna happen. But because it's been so long, I'm just like, okay, I guess I'm gonna tell her like a long time from now. And it wasn't. 2 months later, this person reached out and they apologized and asked for forgiveness. And I told them, I said, I said, thank you for your apology. I forgive you. But if I'm being honest, I wasn't holding anything against you. Like, you were an important person in my life, right? But I just wanted to share that because I know God has said recompense or requital, whatever his word was to you concerning you, about you and your next season and where he's taking you, that he's spoken recompense over many of you. And just know that a lot of that recompense and that requital and whatever he's doing, it comes with apologies. And it may be from people that aren't even on your radar, that you just consider the door closed and I guess it's gonna stay closed, and I love them with the love of the Lord. It is what it is, but expect people to come back and to apologize. And it's not people that you're expecting to send apologies your way. It's not going to come from people that you're even expecting to acknowledge you. But God is a big God, and he does exceedingly above all that you can ask, think, or imagine. So this is on a grand scale. It's on a bigger scale than what you think it's on. Like, it's way bigger than you. It's way bigger than you. And it's not about anybody kissing your butt or sucking up to you. It has nothing to do with that. This is so big. This is such a big deal. And it goes with whatever God is doing in your life in this moment. Just know that he's connecting you to people that may have wronged you in the past. He's bringing them back around, but it's a part of something bigger. And I don't know what that something bigger is. I don't know all the details because I am not God and it's above my pay grade. But just know that apologies are coming. People may ask you for forgiveness with those apologies. Your job is to accept the apology and to forgive. Now, some of those people, you may be able to open that door back to them and extend, an invitation for friendship or whatever that was. Some of these people, it may simply be an apology, and you acknowledge them and you forgive them, and it's like, okay, well, thank you, but there's nothing there. So however that's going to go, that's between you and God. But I'm seeing what God is doing, and I've been wanting to share this with you guys for a while. Obviously, if it happened on the 4th, that was like, 2 weeks ago, getting ready to be 3 weeks ago. But I just know that the recompense, the compensation, the requital is not just for me in this season. And like I said, requital goes two ways. Like, it's compensation, it's recompense for something that was done. So it's also on the side of judgment as well, because people that sowed unrighteously in different areas of their lives, they're also going to reap what they've sown. So there's also a judgment side to this. But those of you that have sowed righteous seeds, and not perfect seeds, right? But you repented, you gave your life to God, you've been walking accordingly. And again, not perfect, but you're getting ready to reap what you've sown. God has seen your tears. He's heard your prayers. He's seen how you poured out to people. And God is in this very moment, in this very hour, pouring back into you. And it's not going to come the way that you expect it to come. It's not. So just be ready. Don't hold a grudge. Make sure your heart is ready to accept what he's sending your way. And if you still feel like when it comes to some people that you have a wall there, just ask God to show you how to deal with that. Ask him to show you how to handle that, right? Ask him how he wants you to deal with that. But just know that you are to forgive. Forgiveness does not mean letting that person back in. It does not mean you have to be in close proximity with them. But some of the people that are coming back, there will be a restoration of that relationship for whatever purpose God sees fit. Some of them, it will not. But just because God is sending them back and they're apologizing does not mean that you're going to be in close proximity with them. But for whatever reason God is sending them back for, because it takes a very big person to apologize. Anybody that apologizes and it's happening in a sincere manner, that's a movement of God. That is a movement of God. That takes humility, and humility has God written all over it. So just get ready for whoever and whatever this is for you. I'm like watching. I'm such a people watcher, guys. Do y'all do that too? But yeah, that's all I wanted to share with you guys. Before I get out of the car. It feels so good out here. It is 75 degrees, y'all, but it feels really good. But yeah, that's what I wanted to share. It just shocked me, but it also humbled me. And I'm like, man, I never looked at an apology as asking someone for forgiveness too, but it really does make a big difference. And it humbled me. Not to say I was prideful when it comes to apologies, because like I said, I have no problem apologizing if I've done something wrong. But it just made me look at it in a different way, because I'm 37 years old, and in my whole entire life's existence, no one has ever apologized and asked me for forgiveness. I've had sincere apologies. I've had apologies that I knew weren't sincere. But no one, and I mean no one, has ever apologized to me and asked for forgiveness too. And that really moved my heart. It really did. And it made me think about the way that I apologize to people. And again, my apologies are always sincere, but I never think to ask for forgiveness, because in my mind, I'm like, that's between him and God. Like, whether you forgive me or not, my apology is sincere. So whether you want to talk to me again or not talk to me, I don't care, as long as I know that my apology was sincere and my heart was pure when I said it. But her apology, this person's apology, taught me to look at things in a totally different way. So I love you guys. I pray that this blesses someone today, and I hope it was not all over the place. If it was, show me grace, because yeah, I didn't sleep well last night. I already shared that with you guys earlier. But the funny thing is, I'm also not tired. So I love how God will still give you energy to do whatever it is that you need to do. Tonight, I'm pretty sure I'm going to sleep like a baby, but that's it. That's all. I love you guys, and I hope you have a great Sunday, and get out and enjoy your day. Even if you're just riding around in a circle, sightseeing, get out, enjoy your day, buy yourself some flowers. I just bought some pretty flowers. I wish I could show you guys, but they're in the trunk. But I just bought some pretty flowers from Target. I went to pick up a few things, and yeah, I'm just gonna enjoy this day. I plan on making some tacos for dinner and just chilling all day. I don't even think I'm going to do a cleaning today, a reset in that way. Like, I honestly just want to chill out. So that is the goal today, but we'll see, knowing me. But my goal is to just chill out today. But I love y'all. Have a great Sunday, and whoever God is sending back your way, forgive them and move forward. And whatever it is that he has that's planned, that's on a grander scale than what you even know, go with the flow, allow God to do what he's going to do, and allow God to be God in the situation. Don't try to be God over your own life, because it will never work out. Whatever he is doing, receive it, perceive it, allow him to lead, and just, discern what God is telling you to do in that very moment. So, I love y'all. Have a great day. Bye.